So you've been on Clubhouse quite a bit, right? I've seen you moderating a lot of rooms on podcasting, specifically on YouTube. Do you want to dive in on that a little bit and get started? Because I mean, I saw your followers on Clubhouse are growing very quickly. Because I kind of, you came on my radar like a month ago or so, and I looked again. I'm like, whoa, this guy has been consistent, growing the following, adding value. So would love to see what value you have to add to the audience in terms of Clubhouse.
Yeah. So again, let's just define what Clubhouse is, because a lot of people still don't know. It's that new social
Right.
media apps. So Clubhouse, just for an FYI, and I've got a ton of YouTube content on Clubhouse, and how to exceed. But Clubhouse is an audio only platform, and that's basically it, right? There's no texting. There's really very limited video elements. Like there's photos, like that's about it. You get a photo, you get a bio, and it's all audio. And you might say that sounds boring. I'm image related, but it is extremely powerful for making connections with other humans. And there's pros and cons to it. But what I love about Clubhouse, Chris, is it's really easy for me to spend time there, get valuable information, and build real relationships there. But it trickles over in these other platforms, because without any texting, without any DMing, without any messaging, you have to go to Instagram. You got to go to LinkedIn. You go to Twitter, and it's that interaction there that said to me, at least for the first quarter, the first half of 2021, I'm going all in, because not only is it building my business, but it's also building my influence on all these other platforms. I don't know if you've had a similar experience, and we can kind of get into some of the growth strategies there and how to really leverage Clubhouse, but it's extremely powerful when you do it right. Otherwise, it's just a complete time sink.
I totally agree. Yeah. And I mean, it seems like entrepreneurs, obviously we understand that time is our most valuable asset. It takes some time to understand that very concept, because we're like, well, I could get paid more per hour at this job. Why don't I just stay there and get a little raise? But then you start to learn to delegate, to outsource, to scale yourself up and buy yourself more time. And so just all these little cost cutting, or not cost cutting, but also time cutting strategies, whether in Clubhouse or LinkedIn or podcasting, all those things add up throughout the day to make us more effective. And Clubhouse has definitely been a great way to leverage. I mean, I'm connecting with you here today. We connected on Clubhouse. I sent you a DM. And then Ben Levitt as well. That was another guest I recently had on the show that probably would not have happened, or maybe it would have been a slower process if I had emailed him or his assistant and he got back to mine, right? So you're cutting to the chase. You're hearing who has value. And if something resonates, you can go directly to them. Hey, man, I'll DM you. Check your DM. And now you're looking for my DM. You're not like, okay, I'm 1 out of 1,000 DMs. Who's going to get lost at the bottom of the stack, right? So
yeah,
well, I'm finding the same thing.
It's that direct human to human contact, which very often gets lost in some of these other social media. Like someone will throw an emoji on a post on Instagram, but have you really connected? But like to your point with Ben, you can actually have a conversation with Ben in the app, deliver valuable information, vice versa. And it's that exchange. But to kind of answer your original kind of point with, Mark, my Clubhouse following is growing very quickly. It's growing my Instagram really quickly. I'd love to talk shop about Clubhouse, because I think it's a huge opportunity. Yeah. I think rule number one in Clubhouse is you need to get on stage and you need to speak. That's rule number one. If you're just sitting in rooms and just listening to Damon John or listening to Zuckerberg or something like that, you're not actually accomplishing anything. I mean, the flip side is, sure, you can join like a room and kind of learn and listen, but it's really that, for me, it's about getting on as many relevant stages as possible. And there's different strategies to do that, but it's these type of collaborations that give you that opportunity. And it's obscenely powerful, because people come on, they ask a question, you're on stage already, maybe you're a moderator, maybe you're hosting your own room. So that also gives you that kind of that thought leadership, that authority type thing, because you've got the little green bean next to your name. So yeah, I think for me, rule number one, growing on Clubhouse, is getting on stage and speaking.
Yeah, I agree. Otherwise, it's just no different than a podcast. If you're just sitting there listening, you might as well go listen to a podcast. But if you're participating, asking questions that are relevant, you're having breakthroughs. But if you're a moderator, even better. Like you said, there's that positioning. You're the expert. You can chime in. And I've noticed that as well, because right before we got on the call, I was a moderator in a room that, someone just gave me the moderator status and I didn't get a chance to speak. I was like kind of listening. There was a lot of dialogue going on between other moderators. And I don't think my followers grew by any, because I didn't have a chance to add value. But as soon as you speak and you add value, like I've noticed, boom, 10 followers right away. If someone liked the answer that I gave and I added value, they're going and clicking follow me, they're going to my Instagram, they're sending me a DM. But if I'm just sitting there in the audience, you're right, no one's going to know who you are. I never scroll down to whoever's at the bottom of a 300-person room to click on their profile and see what they do. I'm looking at who's speaking, who's moderating. Do I need to follow these people? And then I go over to their Instagram. Do they have credibility? Do they post a lot? Right. So
Yeah.
in today's day and age, it is tough, but I think like a rising tide lifts all boats is a quote that I would attribute to this, because as your Clubhouse following rises, it's going to trickle into your LinkedIn, your Instagram, your Facebook. If you have funnels and things in place, right, you're going to have people on your email list, all that kind of stuff. So I think Clubhouse, man, that's been a huge focus for me lately. Like I've kind of cut down on other areas and I've increased my time on Clubhouse strategically, though.
Yeah, me as well. And because again, you hit the nail on the head there with the tide rising, all the ships up. So as soon as you're done in a room in Clubhouse, you go to check out your Instagram, or you're doing it at the same time and taking answers and things like that, taking questions. Your Instagram is going to blow up. Like my Instagram is growing like 10% a week. It's pretty nuts right now. Thank you so much for watching. I'm glad you enjoyed this episode. I got several other episodes right here for you. Smash one of these videos to make sure that you don't miss out on the tips, tools, and tactics of industry experts. Let's take that side hustle full time. Smash one of these links.